not get transferred. Okay. Then what is about this quantity tolerance, amount tolerance? Tolerance, you remember, right? In cash management module, we have seen tolerance. Okay. Let's take an example. This is my purchase order. This is my invoice. In purchase order, I have said, send me this item 5 quantity for me, and cost of the 5 quantity is 500. Okay. In invoice, obviously, whenever I received a 5 quantity, I have to make a payment to 5 quantity and the same 500, right? This is a general scenario. Tolerance, percentage of quantity tolerance based and amount tolerance based. This one we will create in another setup and we will attach it. Okay. What does it mean? Like you remember in cash management, we'll create a tolerance in one screen and we'll attach it to our bank account, right? Like that, we should attach it to here. Okay. What does this mean? For example, I've kept a tolerance as 20%. This is quantity based tolerance. Okay. 20% tolerance is accepted, I'm saying. So can I invoice for 300? No. Why? Because the difference is 40%. Okay, let me put this as 10 so it is easy to identify. Okay. Can I invoice this? No. Why? Because see that there is a 30% difference between your ordered quantity and your billing quantity. It is not allowed. But you attach a 20% tolerance. Okay. So what will be allowed? 8 quantity can be billed. Okay. So if you are setting 20% tolerance here, 20% quantity less you are billing, so the tolerance is accepted. If you're not setting up tolerance, this will not work. You have the invoice will go into hold. It will not allow you to pay your invoice. It will not allow you to account your invoice to general ledger. Okay. Then, yeah, I'm saying 10% amount tolerance is accepted. So I'm paying my 10 quantity itself, but I'm paying 850, only 850. This is accepted? Not. You have to pay at least 900. So in general, most tolerance will not be accepted. Why? Because whatever you receive from supplier will not leave you until you are paying to them. Then discount. This discount, if you enable this checkbox option, let me take an example. 100 is your invoice number. You have 10% of GST. Invoice amount. Okay, let me put it as invoice amount. Discount. You receive 10% discount. Okay, sorry. Let me put it as tax. Sorry. The 10% is tax. So 10 is your this is your invoice total amount. 110. Okay. So now what supplier told you is, I'm giving you 5% of discount engine. So this option, what it says is discount calculation, don't include your tax in the calculation. Don't include your freight in the calculation. What does it mean? When you are calculating your discount, don't calculate from this amount, calculate from this amount. Tax, so from doing 5% from this means there will be 5.5 discount, right? So it is not actual discount amount. You cannot discount anything from your tax amount. So you have to discount from your only invoice amount. In general, every time this option will be enabled. Okay. Then always take discount means what it means for all the invoice take discount. It is not recommended. Right? So no all the suppliers will not agree take a discount. It's a concept. And this one, all invoice line, tax line, single distribution. As I told, when you create an invoice, there will be 3 different lines, right? What it is saying, 5% from 230, that 375 from 230, 375 5%, 345 5%. Calculate and put 3 different rows as discount and make me a calculation. No, if you keep this option, so for all the invoice line, it will put your calculation 5% against all invoice line. This one, tax line and single distribution. We will not keep this because your tax is not discounted. Single distribution, what does it mean? System will automatically calculate 5% for this subtotal. It means 950, and it will put a single line called discount. This is my discount minus this amount. That's it. If you want 3 different lines or single distribution. Single distribution is always recommended. Keep the single distribution. Then, okay, we are seeing this option for all this option for standard invoice. Now we are seeing this option for prepayment. Whenever I'm creating a prepayment, what should be my payment, default payment term? This payment term is for your other invoices. This payment term is for prepayment invoices. Okay. I'm keeping this option for prepayment invoice immediate. Then settlement days. Whenever you are keeping your creating your prepayment, let's take an example. I'm prepaying to one of my supplier for 30 days. What does it mean? After 30 days, I have to use this amount, or you have to settle back with this amount. So for all the prepayment, my settlement days is 30. Only 30 days I can keep my prepayment. I can set it up here. In general, it is not, condition is not like that. You'll make a prepayment, and whenever you want, you can purchase the goods from them. It's not required. Use distribution from your purchase order. Whenever you're matching your purchase order to your prepayment, use the distribution from your purchase order to your prepayment. Okay. Then use show available prepayment during invoice entry. What does it mean? Show available prepayment during invoice entry. I'm creating an invoice here, right? If I have any prepayment already, I have prepaid and some amount is pending there, means while I'm creating this invoice, system will put a bill icon here near your supplier saying you have some prepaid amount to your supplier already. Don't pay this invoice. Just apply your prepayment to this invoice. Don't pay this invoice. It will provide your information here. So always it is recommended to enable this option. This option is just a prevention option. Like you have already paid this amount. You are having this amount. Don't pay this invoice. Just apply this invoice to you whatever you have already paid. Okay. That's the message it will give. So that is recommended. And then recording approval, enable your approval. Can I enable allow force approval? And when my approval should go? My approval should go before my validation or not. Require validation before approval. If you enable this option, you should validate your invoice. Validate invoices means your invoice looks good or not. Like any of the mistake you have in the invoice, like unmatched false. Okay. Validation is required 100%. If you enable approval, I will recommend it to enable this option. Why? Because you cannot send the improper invoice for your approval to your manager or whoever is in a higher level hierarchy, right? So you have to send your proper invoice. So you enable this option. Then accounting preference. Okay. Account regardless of approval status. Okay. What does mean by account? Account is mean nothing but, right, we are creating our invoice and if your account means you are transferring your journal entry to your general ledger, correct? So this option is account regardless of income. This option, what it will do, if you account or not, you are transferred or not, whatever it is, you are able to account your invoice if it is approved or not, if it's not approved. Approved or not approved, you can account. In general, it is not recommended. Why? Because transferring to general ledger is very, very key thing. You cannot do it as it is. So once the invoice is approved from your supervisor, only we can account it, right? You select this option. What does this option mean? Require accounting before approval. This option, if your approval status is approved or not, just account. This option, accounting is mandatory before you sending to approval. This is not be used. Why? Because the accounting is the key. Require approval before accounting. If you keep this option, once your invoice is approved only, you can be able to use this option and account post to ledger. Okay. Then this is about approval. I'll disable the approval. Next, create interest invoice. What in general, what is meant by interest invoice? Okay. Let's take an example. Your invoice amount is 1,000. Your supplier told you have to pay it in 10 days. how you are capturing your 10 days means your payment term. Okay, 10 days I have to pay. Then your due date will be 10, from your 28th May will be your due date. But you have missed your payment and you are paying on 30th May. 2 days you have made a late payment. The supplier is telling you have made 2 days late payment. You have to pay me the interest for this invoice. So per day, the interest for this invoice is 1%. What you have to do? Equal to into 1 divided by 100 divided by 3, right? So per day, this is a calculation. So for this, this is a small example. Let me put it in big value. So 27, you said interest for single day. You are made an interest invoice. In this case, you will create one more invoice for this interest invoice, and you have to pay it to your supplier, right? So basically, this business unit is allowed to create interest invoice or not. Yes, I have allowed to create interest invoice. Minimum interest invoice amount is 1. Then if I create interest invoice, what is my expense account? You have to provide the expense account. Interest allocation method. Same you are seeing here. Do for all the invoice lines or a single distribution. Always keep a single distribution. This is about your interest invoice. Then payment.
I'm a bit confused on this interest.
Yes, Ajay.
So when we receive goods bit late, then we charge this amount to supplier, or we'll pay automatically if we'll delay the payment.
No, in this one, when we delay the payment, we have to pay to them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it is about purely the payment. Okay. Next, payment request. What is payment request? This payment request will be covered in. Okay, we'll cover in AP itself, no problem. So payment request will come from your accounts. It may come from your account receivable model. How from account receivable model? Let's take an example. In accounts receivable model, customer will come into show, right? We have sold something to a customer, 1,000 rupees. Invoice amount is this, and in AP, supplier will be a role, and we will create invoice. Against the invoice, we will make a payment. This is the general term. Here in AR, we will create invoice. Against the invoice, we will receive the payment. It is called as a receipt. Okay, so this is a key difference. In this, receipt I have received 1,000. Something happened. Your customer, something happened. Your customer told, "I'm just returning this product. All the product are damaged." This what you have to do. You have to repay them, right? From accounts receivable, only you can receive the money. You cannot pay the money. So in receipt screen, like this screen, don't worry, we'll take that. Like this screen, in receipt screen also will be there. In there will be an option called refund. Refund to my customer. In this case, we will initiate refund from that setup and all required there. We'll explain you that setup. I'm refunding 1,000. What it will happen? System what it will do? Automatically create an payment request type. Payment, there are types of payment. In that, one of the type is payment request. Okay. System automatically will create one payment request in the accounts payable. This is complete automatic. When you do a click on refund and do, it will get automatic payment request in AP module, and your customer will created as a party in the AP module, and you can make the payment to them. So you are recording in the system that some refund it has came from a accounts receivable module as a payment request, and I'm paying to them. This is a general concept of payment request. We'll deeply explain how to do this in system, but this is general concept. Remember the concept. So when I'm getting any payment request, what should be my payment term? What should be my payment group? What is my payment priority? Defaulting option. That's it. Again, when it comes to self-service invoice, like I told, right, self-service invoice is supplier can work on the portal and do. Limit to invoice to a single purchase order, allow invoice backdating, unit price change from quantity base. Limit means a purchase order can be applied to only one invoice. Um, Allow them to enter the backdate invoice also. All these options. Attachment is mandatory or not. They can change their unit price or not. All these options we can select over. Okay. This is about invoice option screen. Any doubts here? Okay, no problem. Okay, guys. Just my recommendation. See these three setups or key setup. Those all understand all small setup. This three setups is key setup in your accounts payable modules. Basically, try this screen more and try to understand what all those things. And common option is done, invoice option is done. Then I'm finally moving to payment option. So we have seen in invoice what all we can do, what all option I can give, what all things I can do, right? So this is about your invoice screen. Okay, let me go to payment screen now.
Jagdish,
Yes, please.
I was just noting down on the first setup screen, you were discussing about accrual on different places.
This setup, common option for payables and payment.
Accrual, yeah.
Okay, accrual at receipt and accrual at a period end. That option, right?
Yeah, first time. First option, what you were, yeah, common.
Okay, this one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
In R12, as a standard accounting entry for expense items,
Sales item.
at the time of a receipt, inventory recurring account, receiving account debit and accrual account credit. Correct? So now, as I understand you're saying,
No, come. Tell me again.
as a standard in R12, as a process, when we do the receipt,
Receipt GRM.
so that time inventory receiving account debit and accrual account credit.
Correct.
And again, when we match the invoice with PO in payable, accrual account debit,
The debit and liability
liability
debit.
account credit.
Credit, correct.
Now, this is the standard what we know through the
Correct.
R12. Now, my question is over here, we have option to change that place to get the accrual hit.
Yes, absolutely. The option is there. What I'm trying to say is we cannot change the place of accrual hitting. We can tell the system when that accrual accounting entry should happen. That's the difference. There will be no difference in the accounting, as same in the receipt, inventory receipt will be debited and your accrual will be credited. Okay, same. But when the accrual entry should happen at your receipt or at the period end. For example, the same accounting entry will generate for the receipt. It should create at the receipt creation level and the accounting itself, or only when I'm closing the period it should happen. This is the concept. Got it? Unless until your at your period end, you cannot account your receipt. That is the simple thing.
Normally, maybe I'm not clear on the concept, so maybe asking a bit silly question. So normally, it happened when we do click on create accounting and transfer to GL, all the accounting entry go in GL after the create accounting process take place.
Process when you run a program, you will run a program create accounting with a model called receipt accounting, right? Whenever you are running a program, see for let's say example today is 18. You have kept this accrual expense item at the period end. You are running a program. It will accrue my receipt or not. It won't accrue. If you kept the expense, because while when you are enabling this option at your purchase order level itself, what it will happen? Accrual option that it will set to at the period end. When the period end date comes only, you will be able to uh, make your accrual happens. This means at the receipt level itself, let the accrual happens. It doesn't mean you are create accounting in a different place. No, you're not accounting in a receipt, you're accounting in a different place. It means when you are accounting, while the receipt creation, say for example, today you have created a receipt and today you are running the create accounting program. Your accrual expense item is at receipt. Absolutely, the account will get generated. If the accrual expense item is at expense, you are running for today, absolutely it won't get generated. Why? Because your system you are saying at the period end. System knows when is your current period and what is the end date of the current period. So at the end date, if you select your accounting date as a end date and run, it will happen. Basically, this idea is to accrue at every time or at the period end to avoid some see, like for take example, your what is receipt? The receipt is your received quantity. You are entering this much. I have received the quantity, right? So what if you are refunded? You are returned to your supplier. RTB will take place. Okay. So when it is generally checking, like if you keep a period in all those entry, all those accrual and expense item will get knocked off and create a accrual entries at the end period end, or you can do it. You can account at receipt once you received. And once you return also, you will create a receipt with a negative sign. You can do at that time also. It's a general option like account now or account later. That is the concept.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Welcome. Okay, let's move to payment options. This is about your payment scheme. Let's start from your payment option. Allow payment date before the system date. What does it mean? See, let's take an example. Invoice date is 16. Today system date is 8. Payment date. I want to make it system date is 8. If I doesn't enable this option, I cannot create my payment date. If I select it to this 16, what system will throw me error? You are not allowed to make payment before your system date. If I enable this option, it will allow you to make a payment. That's it, simple concept. So in general, it should be allowed, right? Why? Because you may make make a payment in real time 16 itself. Your account is recording in 18 only. Maybe there may be some delay. So in this case, we have to allow them. Allow override of supply side bank account. While creating our supplier, there is an option called create bank accounts. In that, whenever we are making a payment, what is maybe supplier bank account? What is disbursement bank account? It's simple. Disbursement bank account is our bank account where we are going to pay your money, disburse your money. Supplier bank account is the supplier bank account where he is going to receive his money. Okay, you will record this one. See, disbursement bank account is our account. Remit to bank account is this account, like which we are going to remit, where the money is going to be received, where the money is going to be disbursed. Okay, so whenever you are selecting a supplier, this will get defaulted if you attach a bank account to this. Shall I allow you to change the bank account or not? This option. To enable this option, whenever you select your supplier, this field will be allowed to change. Otherwise, it will be in a grade of only. Then allow document category override as same you are seeing in your invoice. Here also for payment also document category will come here. Allow override or not. Allow payee override for third party. Same in invoice what we are seeing. The payee override is allowed that there is a remit to address. Here it is a payee override or not. Then here this is one key important option. I will tell you. So basically understand this is an invoice. What will be your debit and credit? This is debit. This is credit. What will be a debit? What will be, sorry? What will be a credit? While making payment, what will be your debit? What will be your credit? You will debit your liability. You will credit your cash, right? So this is a general account. If I keep this option, okay, what it's saying, you cannot change this option because many payments has been recorded with this fix. Okay. If you keep this option, what does it mean? If you keep this option, what does it mean? See, there is a payment status. Two different payment status. One is another one is what is meant by negotiable and what is clear. Negotiable is unreconciled. This is reconciled. Negotiable status means it is not reconciled with your bank statement line. Once the manual reconciliation, once you reconcile your payment, it will change automatically to cleared status. Okay. So what system asking is issue means negotiable, clear means clearing. If I keep issue means when I create a payment and it is a negotiable status itself, it will account this entry. The liability will be debited and your cash will be credited. If you keep a reconciliation means at negotiable time there will be, if I keep this option, my account only should be done at clear after clear. Once my payment status is clear, then only it will hit this account. At this level, there will be no accounting entries. Third option, at the payment issue and clearing. What I'm saying, account for me at the payment issue also and after cleared also. Then how the accounting entry will behave is for negotiable, same debit will be goes to liability, but credit goes to cash clearing. It will hit a dummy account called cash clearing. Okay. Then once you reconcile and your status is cleared, then your account, you have already reduced your liability. So liability will not come in the scenario. What it will happen? It will credit your cash clearing. Sorry, debit your cash clearing and credit your cash. So instead of directly hitting your cash, what you're doing, you're including your clearing account inside. See here, what happened? Credit and debit. What will happen after this final? This will get knocked off. Only these two remains actually, correct? After the clear. But you want to record a two purpose means just create one clearing account and put it at credit level. Here create a clearing account, put it at credit level. When these are the options you can switch over. In general, 99.9% which I have seen, they will use at the payment issue and clear. Okay. Any doubts on this case? Because it's a key important thing. Ajit and Nidish.
Yeah, okay.
Fine, right? This one. Okay. Nitish, okay. So this is about this option. Then currency conversion, required or not, enable this and default this. And then bank charges. Bank charges detection type.
Jagdish,
Yes.
sorry, but actually, whatever you're explaining now, these especially the entries and all, when you remove, delete maybe if we'll not practice and not keep revising, we may forget after a couple of sessions or maybe after some time.
Okay.
Our request that if you write it down somewhere while doing it only the way in notepad or something, so and that file also if you put it in PPT or shared drive, so we are able to
No,
refer it whenever needed.
no, I understood. But accounting entries in general, usually will not give any document on that, right? See,
No, I'm
accounting
not
entry,
saying any account. I'm just giving a reference. Anything you are writing now,
writing,
if
okay.
you will give it in a notepad somewhere, in earlier session Prasad was doing. If you want, I'll discuss with Prasad.
No problem.
And he was just putting all these things in a notepad. So whenever
Right.
we are going through the video, again revising the topic,
Mhm.
we were opening those notepad file or Excel file and referring what was the context and how Jagdish explained.
No,
It's just
you,
a suggestion. I don't know
no,
if
no,
possible, not possible.
I
So if you
understood.
do so, we'll refer those entries or those context to what you are writing, and it will help us to remember things easily.
Okay, I understood. So what you're expecting is like the example which each time when I'm giving, put it in a notepad and save that file, right?
Yeah, whatever you are comfortable, put it in some sort of document
No,
and
no, that is
mark
okay,
it
man.
with that
Doc,
number of
no,
session
no,
because
document is
generally,
absolutely okay. I find with that. What I'm checking with you, which all it is required. All my workings and I'm showing is I have to put in notepad or example accounting and everything you're expecting, right? Just to
see, we
understand.
are a student. We don't know what is important. What you when you are
No, no,
teaching,
no.
you feel that something is important that you should refer. You keep only those things. But
Okay, got it, got
normally
it.
with
Mm,
Prasad,
mm,
what is happening?
mm,
He usually open the notepad
mm,
and he write it down whatever he feel that he's explaining like a
mm,
blackboard or something,
mm.
and he write it down on same file he was putting in shared drive. So
Okay,
when we are going through the videos and whatever notepad was there, so we are able to refer it, and if some file or some information needed, I am
got it,
able to
got it,
take it from that file also.
got it, got it. Okay, so okay, I will check with Prasad also which practice he's following, so I can follow that same also on that. No problem.
Yeah, just for reference. I'm not saying anything. It's
No,
just
no,
a
no,
request.
no,
If
Jit,
possible, then and only then.
I totally understood your request. I'm just trying to understand which way it will be better or which way the Prasad is following
Yeah,
it will
yeah.
be helpful. I'm just trying to understand that one. No problem.
Thank
I
you.
will check with Prasad and we'll discuss on this. From tomorrow session, we'll put in a notepad and I'll upload with the date or numbering. We'll put some numbering and we'll upload.
Thank you, Jackie. Thank you so much for understanding.
Uh, no problem. Thank you for reminding me. This may be helpful approach also. Thank you for that. Okay. So what are the yeah this one lot bank charges type. How the bank charges should get detected like standard or negotiated. In general, bank charges we will not use it in our AP. It will, as I said, right, like create transaction. You can go ahead with this instead of coming to AP and doing your bank charges, recording your bank charges as an invoice and making a payment. It's very uh, big process and it is not recommendable also. In general, if you want to do it, keep a standard or keep a negotiated, which level you can generate your bank charges, you can. This is about your payment accounting and override options. Sorry, payment options. Okay. So basically, what we are seeing today is only five setups, and these are the key setups in your AP accounts payable module. So first what we are seeing, we have created ourselves as an user. This will be taken care by HCM. Procurement agent or setup, we have to define ourselves as a procurement agent. What will happen if we not design ourselves as a procurement agent means we cannot create a supply site. While creating supply site, there will be a every place we are have option called create right plus button that will not be available while creating a supply site. Just remember this whenever you are doing in a real time your user doesn't have access to create your supply site. It clearly means your procurement agent setup is missing. Okay. Then common option for payables, so procurement, invoice options, and payment options. General using, you can revise them. Tomorrow we can go ahead with the other setups. Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ajay. Thank you, Nitish. We'll follow the session today. You can join.
Jagdish, just one thing.
Yeah, yeah, Nitish.
Yep. So actually, when we were doing the when we were doing the cash management session, I asked you one question regarding the job set. I forgot to, remind you on Monday. I just wanted to have a look that how we create a job set
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah,
want.
yeah. Understood, understood. I remember.
If not today, if possible tomorrow, if you can show me that how to do.
Okay, let me note down here itself. Create job set, and I will show you one more option also. Schedule a job. These two I will cover tomorrow at the end of the session. Okay, just remember me today. I will do this tomorrow.
Sure, fine. Thank you.
Thanks, Satish. Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you. Bye.